Napheesa Collier absolutely hooked Angel Reese's ass last night. 8 of 13, 61.5%, 26 points in 25 minutes and 53 seconds. She scored 26 in 26 minutes.
What happens when a player focused on individual stats goes up against a team that's all about winning? On May 10th, we got a clear answer as Napheesa Collier and the Minnesota Lynx methodically broke down Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky's game plan, limiting Reese to just 3 rebounds and 10 points over 25 minutes of action.
Angel Reese, preseason, part 2, let's get it! What they say about layups, harder than nuclear physics. Bang! She's a point forward now, and nobody's more excited than opposing defenses. Time for the vintage underhand scoopity shot from 3 feet. Yep, there it is. Bang!
This wasn't just another preseason game. It was a glimpse of what happens when the focus moves from social media hype to real on-court performance. Did the Lynx just expose Reese's double-double streak as smoke and mirrors? What does her new coach really think about her place on the team? Stay with us as we break down the game footage, how Collier dominated Reese, the surprising aftermath, and whether fans are tuning in for the basketball or just for Reese.
I think Angel Reese fans are going to be happy because she's playing away from the rim, a long way away from the rim, and those rebound numbers and those double-doubles are about to take a back seat. So guess what? Padding the stats is not going to work out.
Before the May 10th matchup, Angel Reese seemed confident, sharing posts about being ready to dominate and claiming she's not used to losing. But when it came time to face Napheesa Collier and the Minnesota Lynx, reality came crashing down. The so-called rebounding machine finished with just 3 rebounds in 25 minutes. That's right. Only 3 boards from a player whose entire reputation is built on cleaning up her own misses.
I don't want to give away the farm, but Angel was 2 of 8 from the field. 2 of 8 from the field. 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 points.
The game footage makes it clear how thoroughly Collier shut down Reese's game. From the opening tip, Collier took control, using her body to establish position and box Reese out effectively. Unlike in college, where Reese could often rely on reaching over defenders, she now faced an opponent who mastered positioning and timing. In one second quarter sequence, Reese made 3 separate attempts to gain deep post position, and each time, Collier denied the entry pass, pushing her farther from the hoop. When Reese finally did get the ball, Collier's sharp defensive footwork forced her into an off-balance shot that missed badly. No rebound, no second chance points.
The McDonald's sponsoring the first ever fry cook in the WNBA. Bag work is off the dollar menu, man. What is this junk? Bang! Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and most importantly, Mother Teresa, Mother Nature, and Mother 2. I'm watching because of me too. Bang! Did you know a croissant's most important ingredient is butter? Yes, butter, butter, butter pecan!
Reese's shooting numbers told the same story. She went just 2 for 8 from the field, missing her only 3-point attempt. Most of her points came at the free throw line, where she made 6 of 8. Without her trademark putbacks and second chance buckets, Reese's offensive impact looked surprisingly average.
Look at these stats. This was some first quarter action. 5 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 for 4 from the field. Missed drive layup, missed 6 foot, leading taking 2, missed drive, lead taking layup. It's going to be another one of those years, folks.
Credit also goes to the Lynx's team defense. Whenever Reese managed to touch the ball, help defenders quickly collapsed, pressuring her into tough shots or rushed passes. The second quarter was especially rough for the Sky. They shot just 25% from the field, making only 4 baskets. Meanwhile, the Lynx capitalized on both ends, putting up 23 points and heading into halftime with a 48-42 lead.
Collier, I mean, my God, 26-5. Absolutely crazy. Okay, the lack of practice or fatigue from her social life is showing itself with Angel Reese. She's doing a lot of watching and slow on defense. Also not communicating. She literally stood there and watched Fee backdoor to the rim for a layup from a pass.
Reese's first half painted a clear picture. She took just 3 shots and missed all of them, with her only points coming from free throws. This wasn't just a cold night. It was a complete shutdown by a smarter, more experienced defensive opponent and team. While Reese struggled to find her footing, Collier was dominant on both ends. She racked up 26 points on an efficient 8 of 13 shooting in just under 26 minutes. With 5 rebounds, a steal, and a block added to her stat line, there was no doubt who the superior player was. Collier looked every bit the MVP candidate, while Reese seemed like a rookie still adjusting to the pro level.
Caitlin Clark has 0 free throw attempts. Did the refs swallow the whistle? Well, Angel's got 30. Who has the special whistle again? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I remember Angel Reese talking about they must have a special whistle out there. Yeah, this person says, my brain genuinely hurts watching Angel Reese fans interact.
One fan on social media claimed the Lynx had cracked the code on stopping Angel Reese, and the evidence backs it up. By neutralizing her rebounding edge, Collier highlighted the gaps in Reese's overall skill set. Without second-chance points and putbacks, Reese's offensive presence faded almost completely.
If I'm being honest, is Angel headed towards a 12-point, 6-rebound, 4-assist kind of season? In other words, being a character actor and not the superstar of this team?
To Reese's credit, she did flash some playmaking ability with 5 assists, indicating an effort to broaden her game beyond the typical power forward role. However, when your main strengths are shut down this decisively, it raises legitimate concerns about your overall effectiveness at the pro level.
And look, Angel had a real nice assist last night.
For efficiency.
I'm not going to lie.
Off
Here
the
we
miss.
go right here down the court.
Tia Nurse
Looks like maybe
pushes
Nurse
the pace
with
up
the ball
for Chicago.
down to Reese.
Top of the
Look
key,
at
it's
this
Reese. Fantastic.
right in there for a layup.
Rachel Banham with the cut off the nice pass from
Rachel
Reese.
that was nice. It was nice, no doubt.
This wasn't just a rough outing, it was a blueprint for stopping Angel Reese. Collier showed that smart positioning, high basketball IQ, and disciplined team defense are enough to erase Reese's physical edge. And now that her on-court dominance is being questioned, it's fair to take a closer look at some of her bold off-court claims as well. She says people watch women's basketball because of her. But if that's the case, where are the fans at her games?
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
That's what Angel Reese declared to reporters after being drafted by the Chicago Sky. Words that didn't just echo through the press room, but reverberated across the basketball world. Confident, unapologetic, bold. For a rookie, calling yourself the reason people tune in to watch women's basketball isn't just a statement, it's a challenge to the status quo. But here's the real question. Is it just talk, or is there truth behind the claim? Are fans really showing up because of Angel Reese? Do the viewership stats and social buzz prove she's not just a player, but a movement?
So when Lisa Leslie is on Angel Reese's podcast and gets asked anything you would want me to work on going into year 2, Lisa Leslie has a laundry list she's already written out. Your layups suck. Your layups suck. You can't finish. You can't finish. You can't. Lisa Leslie had a huge list.
Ever wondered what happens when a basketball superstar's ego starts to outpace her talent? Angel Reese's new podcast, Unapologetically Angel, is offering us a front row seat to just that. And let me tell you, It's a wild ride.
I don't know what the scouts were looking at. I really don't. But following the 7, God has a plan, and it is what it is. And you ended up Chicago, but I'm just telling you,
going into season,
you were ready.
Thank you. Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
From WNBA legends ripping her layups to painfully low viewership numbers, Reese's efforts to stay in the spotlight are backfiring in the cringiest way imaginable. You won't believe the stinging words her own mentor, Lisa Leslie, had to say about her game. Stick with us as we unpack this train wreck that's got the entire basketball world talking. Ready for the ride? Let's go. Here's the kicker. Angel Reese just can't seem to escape Caitlin Clark's shadow, even on her own turf. Reese kicked off unapologetically Angel to show fans a side of her beyond the court, but it's quickly spiraled into a series of awkward missteps. No matter who she's chatting with or what they start talking about, the conversation always circles back to one name, Caitlin Clark.
Angel Reese on the Unapologetically Clout-Chasing Caitlin Clark podcast. I think that's what it's called. Unapologetic Clout-Chasing of Caitlin Clark podcast. Hosted by Angel Reese.
It's like Caitlin Clark has become this uninvited guest star Reese just can't shake. Is it the guests who keep mentioning her? Or is Reese unknowingly steering the conversation straight to Clark Island? You've got to wonder what's really going on in Reese's mind. Is it fierce rivalry, hidden admiration, or is Clark simply that dominant in women's basketball at the moment?
So when you say Cheryl swoops Caitlin Clark, it's like, oh my goodness, Cheryl doesn't like her, so let's see what this is about. And like, all of that's stupid to me. It's not true, it's all stupid. And also, now they may be mad when I say this, because it's funny to me. Like, when I look at the number 22s in the league, like I was 22, Asia's 22, Caitlin's 22. Like, those are some hell of a good number 22s. Period. And we're all a part of the Nike family.
Let's break this down. Episode after episode, the same pattern keeps popping up. 1 minute, Reese is talking about her go-to pregame routine, and the next, bam, someone's raving about Clark's latest record-breaking feat. It's almost laughable how predictable it's become. Fans on social media are having a blast with it, joking that the podcast should be rebranded as The Caitlin Clark Show, hosted by Angel Reese.
Because of women's basketball, whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. This is your platform, so how do you feel about that situation?
I think just being able to be in that moment of it happening, you never realize how something can literally change your life. And knowing my 5 fingers and my other finger pointing at my hand could literally have changed my life for like forever is crazy.
But here's where it gets interesting. All this Clark-centric chatter might actually be helping Reese out more than we think. Every time Clark's name pops up, it's bringing more eyes to Reese's podcast. Even basketball analysts are catching on, noting how Reese's efforts to focus on her own story often get buried under the weight of Clark's accomplishments.
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark, besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like, Steph Curry, I love, you know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before.
You've got to wonder what this is doing to Reese's image and the vision she had for her podcast. Did she set out to create a space where she'd be constantly compared to Clark? Or is this just an unexpected turn in the Angel Reese saga? There's a thin line between staying relevant and becoming obsessed, and right now, it's tough to say which side Reese is on. Want to know what Reese's so-called mentor had to say about her?
Lisa Leslie appears on Angel Reese's podcast, Unapologetically Angel. She gives Angel some advice. Just a hint, it has to do with her layups.
You thought the Caitlin Clark comparisons were rough? Well, Angel Reese's latest podcast episode just took a sharp detour into Awkward City when WNBA legend Lisa Leslie showed up in the Unapologetically Angel studio. Fans were probably expecting some easygoing chat and maybe a few pearls of wisdom. Instead, they got a front row seat to what can only be called a public roasting. Leslie, apparently not one for softening the blow, decided to keep it 100, and I mean really 100.
Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period.
Let's break this down, shall we? Leslie, a 2-time WNBA champ and one of the most dominant players in women's basketball history, didn't waste a second getting straight to the point. She looked Reese dead in the eye and dropped this truth bomb. The biggest advice I have for you is how you shoot your layups, period. Ouch. Can you imagine trying to host your own show while your basketball idol basically tells you your fundamentals are in serious need of some TLC? But wait, it gets better. Or worse, depending on how you see it.
It's just a fact. She is, it's more than a fact. She is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats. I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%.
Leslie didn't just stop at calling out Reese's layup form. She went full statistician on us, dropping the cold, hard numbers. She pointed out that Reese shot a rough 39.1% from the field during her rookie season. Now, for those of you who aren't basketball buffs, that's not exactly impressive, especially when you consider that Reese was shooting under 50% on shots less than 5 feet from the basket. Ouch.
This is like WNBA leveling up and all eyes on her now. I think that she knows that she has to completely restructure her form because that is not the way to be efficient in the post position that she is in. At the post position that she's in, a layup is supposed to be a given. She needs to improve her touch around the rim, like all over the place, but she seems to take these desperation shots.
Now, picture this. Reese, probably sweating bullets, doing her best to keep it together as Leslie just keeps dropping these brutal truths. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. You can't look away. The tension in that studio had to be so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Keep in mind, this is the same Angel Reese who spent all season battling stat padding allegations, to the point where her coach got fired. Heck, even Kennedy Carter threw some shade on her way out of Chicago.
Kennedy Carter Instagram account right here, guys. And I'm here to tell you, bruh, she been going on a little rant all night long. Now, this is the tweet right here that kind of sparked everything. She stated, I think the ability to consistently make layups just put anyone in a different tier. So important to score easy. Now, a lot of people is insinuating that this tweet is towards Angel Reese.
Here's the thing about pro athletes. They love spilling the tea on social media. And when it comes to the Chicago Sky, Kennedy Carter just cranked the heat up to full blast. You know those cryptic tweets that leave you thinking, wait, what's really going on here? Well, Carter dropped a real gem that had everyone connecting the dots faster than you can say layup. She tweeted about the importance of making layups. Sounds innocent enough, right? Wrong. See, Angel Reese had been struggling with her layups all season long. We're talking a dismal 42.4% success rate, the worst in the WNBA. That's not just bad. That's maybe you should try underhand bad. Out of 321 attempts, Reese only made 136. Ouch.
Just like I've been telling y'all, bro. She has been making it her business to sneak this Angel Reese every chance she get. Now, since she's been cut, it look even more obvious. Somebody said, LOL, you ain't down. Now, this tweet right here just popped up here. Somebody tried to come into the defense of her because we know she's a free agent. So, like, if you throw teammates, ex-teammates under the bus, that's going to hurt you even more.
But hold up. There's more. When a fan posted a graphic showing Reese's layup percentages, Carter couldn't resist chiming in. Translation for anyone who doesn't speak Twitter: you nailed it. Let's be real. Subtle as a sledgehammer, right? This public critique isn't just about Reese's layups or shooting percentages. It's about bigger issues with her playing style and approach to the game. When someone with Leslie's pedigree takes the time to break down your weaknesses so thoroughly, it's clear these problems aren't just rookie jitters or small flaws. They're red flags.
Has nobody mentioned this to Angel Reese through 17 to 23 years old? So every time she would meet a legend or meet somebody in the WNBA, meet a player, instead of saying, "Hey, Angel, let me talk to you real quick," instead of looking out for her, you guys just do this again, because it's okay. It's okay.
You've got to wonder what this does to Reese's relationship with Lisa Leslie. Is this the beginning of the end for their mentorship? Or could it actually be the wake-up call Reese needs to level up her game? The dynamic between them just shifted in a big way. After all, when someone like Lisa Leslie, arguably one of the greatest to ever play the game, tells you to fix something, you'd better sit up and listen. That kind of feedback doesn't come lightly. It's tough love, sure, but it's also a gift. Reese is at a crossroads right now. Will she take this as a sign to buckle down, address her weaknesses, and get serious about her future? Or will she push back and ignore the advice from a legend who's been through it all? This isn't just about basketball. It's about how Reese handles criticism, how she handles growth, and how she chooses to show up for herself in the face of challenges. That relationship with Leslie is pivotal. It could either be a turning point or the beginning of a rift. The next few moves Reese makes will reveal a lot about her character and whether she's ready to embrace the tough lessons that come with being a true star in the making.
I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlin is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have. But it is what it is, and I think that we are all benefiting from the effects that she's had on the game, and I just appreciate the way she shows up.
It's not every day in women's basketball that a Hall of Famer steps onto a podcast and delivers more truth than a finals post-game interview. But that's exactly what Lisa Leslie did when she recently came to Caitlin Clark's defense. What followed was nothing short of a masterclass in grace, perspective, and yes, a subtle but powerful takedown of Angel Reese on her very own show. Thousands were tuned in, and Reese got an up-close look at what will likely go down as one of the most graceful clapbacks in podcast history.
Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period.
While the internet has been blowing up over the Clark versus Reese drama, with fans treating it like a Marvel-style rivalry, Lisa Leslie stepped in and played a whole different game. She didn't take sides. She raised the level of the conversation. One day, she's praising Caitlin Clark for her influence on the league. The next, she's offering Angel Reese the kind of mentorship you won't find in any practice session. It wasn't about rivalry, it was about growth. And let's face it, someone had to say it.
But she literally got called out for missing layups. I mean, on her own damn show.
Let's rewind for a second. For months, it's felt like Caitlin Clark couldn't catch a breath without some WNBA veteran tossing a passive-aggressive remark or shooting her a side-eye. Between jealousy-fueled tweets and literal body checks on the court, it was obvious some in the league weren't exactly rolling out the welcome mat. So when Lisa Leslie, one of the WNBA's original legends, stepped in and said, "Actually, Caitlin's doing everything right," it landed like a buzzer-beater game winner.
You want to see more WNBA people saying this, and it's just so obvious.
This wasn't just any random take. This was Lisa Leslie, one of the architects of the WNBA, a pioneer who threw down dunks before they were the norm, and someone who understands firsthand what it means to elevate a league. So when she says Caitlin Clark is the real deal, the basketball world pays attention.
We have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlin has said that even herself in certain interviews. And I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlin is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game.
Lisa didn't just say Caitlin Clark was talented. She emphasized the how, not just the numbers. She pointed to Clark's humility, her genuine appreciation for the trailblazers who paved the way. In a league where some hacked like they invented the crossover, Clark's deep respect for the game's history stood out, and Lisa made sure everyone heard it. Her message was clear. Are you even paying attention? While some gripe about screen time, Caitlin is out here honoring the pioneers who built the stage.
Listen, she's a competitor. She's a trash talker. She makes players around her better. She's exciting to watch. And quite frankly, I've missed seeing her. Being at Unrivaled, she was there. Like, I've missed seeing her play. So I really look forward to seeing her back out there. But as I do all of the WNBA players, like, we are really watching a very exciting level of basketball.
But let's get to the real moment, the game-changing pivot that turned heads. Lisa Leslie didn't just defend from a distance. She stepped right into the conversation, face-to-face with Angel Reese on her own podcast, a space where Reese controlled the mic and the final cut. Leslie didn't hold back. She went full truth-teller mode, looked Reese straight in the eye, and called out the glaring issue, those missed layups.
The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period. Like, we're going to fix that. Yeah. That's fixable for you. And I think that's probably the biggest. I think your shot from the outside is improving. I love that your ball handling is good. Your defense is improved.
Let's take a moment to appreciate the setup. You bring a legend onto your show, expecting some nostalgia, a few laughs, maybe a feel-good girl power conversation. Instead, your struggles at the rim get put on blast for thousands to hear. It wasn't harsh. It wasn't petty. It was raw honesty. And truthfully, it was the kind of tough love coaching moment Reese might not get anywhere else.
Where she literally needs to put up like 300 shots a day. And I'm not kidding. Like 200 or 300 shots a day, and that's missed layups. She's 6'3" or 6'4", can't hit a layup to save her life. And literal videos have went mega viral of just her missing layups in games.
Lisa didn't tear Reese down. She built her up. That's what makes Leslie such a force. She didn't humiliate Angel. She challenged her, the way a Hall of Famer would take a struggling rookie aside and say, here's what needs to change if you want to be great.
You got to go out there and prove yourselves. And listen, are we going to get upset about 5, 6, 10 games less on television or not? I don't think we should. We have access to find these games now in a way that we never had before, and we have to appreciate that, and all these platforms that support the W.
Lisa understands something many overlook. When the stars rise, everyone wins. And Caitlin Clark? She's not just rising, she's skyrocketing. Leslie made it clear that Clark's spotlight isn't a threat to veterans. It's a rising tide. More attention on the league means bigger paychecks, packed arenas, and a future where both rookies and veterans get what they're worth. She didn't shy away from the controversy around Clark's screen time. She tackled it head on.
Stephen A. Smith had a very interesting discourse with Fee recently over the number of games the Fever broadcasted this season compared to other teams who've also got stars on them. So curious what you make of W's decision to lean into highlighting its stars.
While players like Reese and others grumbled about how often Clark's team gets the national spotlight, Lisa Leslie broke it down like a professor. When one of us eats, we all eat. In other words, instead of complaining about TV time, they should be thanking Clark for bringing more eyes and more opportunity to the league.
I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect, call it the Caitlin Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games?
Remember when some players, and even ESPN, tried to downplay Caitlin Clark's dominance at Iowa just because she didn't win a national title?
I'm curious, where would you rank her amongst all-time college players in your opinion?
Ooh, that's tough because you got to win one. I feel like that college is one of those spaces where you got to win one for them to even have your name in the conversation. And it took me 3 years to win mine, so it's hard.
Well, Lisa Leslie wasn't having any of that either. She shut it down, plain and simple.
Curious if you think winning an NCAA championship is needed for that eventual GOAT conversation, greatest of all time status.
Absolutely not. I didn't win an NCAA championship. I was National Player of the Year. I won all of the individual awards, but sometimes, it's very hard to win a national championship, regardless of how much people talk about it, like, oh, you have to have it. It is one of the hardest things to do in a tournament where you have so many games and you're trying to get there. So yeah, shout out to all of the players who were able to win national championships, but it doesn't make a player who didn't win a national championship any less of an amazing individual player.
Then came the mic drop moment. Lisa Leslie said, Clark deserves this, all of it. The attention, the endorsements, the hype, because she's changing the game. And when those words come from someone who changed the game herself, it's not just praise, it's a passing of the torch.
Hey, listen, Caitlin, I am so thankful for her. I'm thankful for all of these women and where this game is, and we have to step back and see the big picture and how it's impacting all of us.
So what did we witness? It wasn't just a defense of Caitlin Clark or a critique of Angel Reese. It was a lesson in leadership from one of the game's all-time greats. Lisa Leslie showed us how it's done. You lift others up, you correct when necessary, and most importantly, you speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable and even when it's on someone else's mic. Because at the end of the day, Lisa Leslie isn't here to play favorites. She's here to elevate the game. And Caitlin Clark? She's proving every day that she's not just a media sensation, she's the future Lisa Leslie's been waiting for.
Speaking of United Center, it'll also play host to a pair of WNBA games for the first time this season. The Sky announcing their matchups, hosting the Indiana Fever will be moved from Wintrust to the UC, has about double the capacity, so more tickets available to watch Caitlin Clark.
Why are only Caitlin Clark's games being moved to the United Center? Angel Reese recently expressed her confusion to reporters, visibly puzzled by the Sky's choice to upgrade venues exclusively for the Indiana Fever. The answer may sting a little, but sometimes the truth isn't easy to hear.
Well, what I do realize is that as of right now, no other Chicago Sky game have been moved to the United Center, except for one, Indiana Fever.
When a phenom forces teams to move games because 10,000 seats won't cut it, that's not just star power. It's economic reality. The Indiana Fever set an all-time attendance record last season with nearly 341,000 fans, while Angel's Chicago Sky are nowhere near that. Yet she still thinks they're equally responsible for growing the game. We've got all the receipts on this embarrassing arena situation that has Angel fuming.
So it looks like the Chicago Sky have finally done what we've been asking for, which was to schedule the games against the Fever at the United Center. And also, in case you weren't already aware, the United Center is the biggest basketball arena in the country. Both home games against the Fever have been scheduled at the United Center.
Did you catch how fast the Chicago Sky moved only Indiana Fever games to the United Center? The WNBA world is buzzing because the Sky are relocating two key matchups in 2025, both against Caitlin Clark and the Fever. This isn't just a venue change, it's a statement.
When Caitlin coming to town, man, all these teams are going to cash in on that. It's just the nature of the business at this point. One fan saying, let's go Fever taking over the United Center. I can't wait. The Angel Reese effect, no. They know better than to leave free money on the table when the face card comes to town. Yeah, man, because we remember last time Caitlin Clark was there, bro, the arena erupted.
What's fascinating here is the timing. The Sky played their entire 2024 season at the 10,000-seat Wintrust Arena, even during Angel Reese's rookie year. Yet, they never felt the need to upgrade. despite the hype around her.
It seems the Chicago Sky have had to move 2 of their home games to a larger facility, a larger basketball facility. I'm sure, no doubt, this is the Angel Reese effect. I've got no doubts, no qualms. There's nothing. She even told me herself right here that it's not just one other player, it's because of her too.
Now, with Clark coming to town, Sky president Adam Fox talks about rewarding fans' passion by moving games to a bigger venue. But if it's about loyal Sky fans, why just these 2 games? What makes them so special?
One of the hottest tickets in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, coming back to the city that she owns, coming back to Chicago after Chicago gave her such a warm welcome last year. They threw Barbie night for Caitlin Clark's arrival. They gave her pink towels. The fans were lined up on the side. She was signing autographs. How is Chicago going to welcome Caitlin Clark this next year around? How are they going to top Barbie night in a 9,000 seat arena? Well, easy. We move Barbie night to a 21,000 seat arena.
The numbers say what no one wants to admit. The United Center holds nearly 21,000, more than double Wintrust Arena's capacity. This isn't just a venue change, it's a business move that faces the uncomfortable truth about star power in the WNBA.
This is the motion that the Indiana Fever / Caitlin Clark have.
Chicago isn't alone. Teams like the Mystics, Aces, Dream, and Sun have all moved their Fever games to larger venues. See the pattern? They're targeting matchups with Caitlin Clark, not just randomly upgrading.
Caitlin Clark and Fever games getting moved to bigger venues on the road is normal at this point in time. We see it happen quite often whenever that Fever show comes to town. But in this case, it is interesting considering the opponent and considering the venue.
Fans' reactions say it all. Many are frustrated that only Clark's games are getting the upgrade, suggesting Angel Reese's draw isn't seen as big enough. Some argue that if Reese had Clark's popularity, more of her games would be moved too.
America's team versus a team who has the person who is the scourge of society. Oh, God. Oh, man. Quote, they watch for me too. Barbie night? Which one is Barbie night? You got to think one of the 2 is going to be Barbie night, right? Look at this. Laughing my ass off. Caitlin is really giving every single team a fundraising game. I am weak. My GOAT is simply different.
What's awkward here is how it contradicts Angel Reese's own narrative. She claimed to be an equal draw to Clark, but the Sky moving only Clark's games to the United Center sends a clear message about who's really filling seats.
We'll be moving to the United Center. So that's significant in the sense of it will be the first games ever played by WNBA teams in the United Center. The games on Saturday, June 7th and Sunday, July 27th. One had a date change. But they will be moving to the largest capacity arena in the NBA. You know, more than double, I believe, what the Sky's typical home arena is able to hold. And of course, I mean, this is a duh for so many reasons.
The real question isn't why they're moving these games, but why just these games? If Angel Reese truly brought the same draw, shouldn't every Sky home game get the United Center treatment?
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
While Angel Reese claims she's equally responsible for the WNBA's growth, the turnstiles have been keeping score. Let's see if the numbers support her or tell a different story.
They will say this is because of Angel Reese. They can't say this because of Angel Reese, because for the simple fact, a lot of their games would have moved to bigger arenas if that was the case. They can't not say this. Like, I know people want it, and like, I know people be mad about this, bro. Like, y'all shouldn't be mad about this, bro. Like, this is just the reality of the situation. You're not a hater. You're not none of that if you say Angel's not as big as Caitlin, because she's not, guys. That's the reality of it all, bro.
If Angel really had the same star power, wouldn't the Sky be moving all their home games to the United Center? Wouldn't every game featuring Reese be a sellout? Logic says that's what should happen if her claims were true.
Last year, the Indiana Fever were in Chicago And a lot of us were asking, why aren't they putting this in the big arena? Are they really that stubborn that they're ready to just turn away dollars just for a narrative? Seems as if they got their end of their year report, looked at the bottom line and said, you know what? Slam shut. In 2025, we're going to be in the United Center.
Last season's numbers tell a clear story. The Indiana Fever shattered the WNBA's home attendance record with over 341,000 fans in 2024, 36% more than the previous record set by the New York Liberty in 2001. This wasn't just growth. It was a seismic shift in how many people are paying to watch women's basketball.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend!
Real shocker? The Fever broke 20,000 attendance 3 times in 2024. The Sky, with Angel Reese, never did. In fact, Chicago's attendance record dates back to 2016, when Angel was still in high school, years before her college debut.
Guys, I'm telling you, when Caitlin Clark comes to town, put it in the big arena because she is box office and it is going to be big money. Big, not even just the ticket sales, merchandise sales, concession stands, parking. Dude, they are racking in money from every area when Caitlin Clark comes to town. So, of course, the Chicago Sky, oh, fine. I guess I'll milk that well until it's dry.
The gap is clear in head-to-head matchups. When Clark and Reese faced off, ticket prices skyrocketed, with some seats reselling for thousands. But games with just Reese don't command the same demand. Sky tickets for next season are still cheap, while Fever games are already sold out.
There's a very thin line between hate and facts, and what I believe to be the case is that there was incremental growth in the WNBA comparatively to the exponential growth we are seeing now. What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership.
Angels games averaged 9,000 fans last season, half of the Fever's 17,000. The WNBA saw a huge attendance spike with Clark, and the Fever averaged 36% more fans on the road. Even the league admits Clark drove over a quarter of last year's revenue. That's not just star power, that's game-changing influence.
Yeah, let me tell you about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark has brought so many eyes to women's basketball that it's amazing. A dude named Acho, I forgot his first name, is something Acho.
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah. He showed how in 5 days before the draft, she made the WNBA more money than they would have made in the next 5 years without her.
This isn't about undermining Angel's talent. She has her own following. But when you claim to be on par with someone pulling in double the crowd, the numbers don't lie. There's a big difference between claiming to draw fans and actually filling seats.
Again, as of right now, to my knowledge, that what I've seen, no other Angel Reese games have been moved due to potential attendance for said game. I mean, I'm just pointing that out. I'm not sure if you're allowed to. I've been told, Angel Reese told us it was because of her too. They're coming because of me.
Sky aren't about loyalty, they're about business. Basketball franchises rely on revenue, and when one player draws significantly more fans, it's clear which way to go. It's not favoritism, it's about following market demand. Caitlin Clark is a proven draw, and the Sky are making smart, revenue-driven decisions. In business, numbers matter more than any narrative.